Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about analysis of object-oriented programming concepts in Java and JavaScript languages. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about introduction to object-oriented paradigm, then major highlights of Java and JavaScript history, brief overview of main OOP concepts, then Java and JavaScript OOP concepts analysis and comparison, and finally the conclusion. The object-oriented paradigm invented by Alan Kay in 1967, and that is one of most frequently used paradigm in present days. This is more popular due to its object modularity and encapsulation. OOP concept has used many programming languages such as Java, Python, C++, Objective-C, and JavaScript. This presentation mainly focuses on analysis and comparison of Java and JavaScript OOP concepts of object defining and referencing, inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. History of Java. Java was originally developed by James Gosling while he is working at Sun Microsystems. It took 18 months to develop his working version. They have started working on 1991 and this language was initially called Oak, but it was renamed as Java in 1995. In the present, we have Java Standard Edition 14. Initially, Java was implemented for consumer electronic products such as televisions, kiosks, and smart home appliances. After the World Wide Web came into the picture in 1993, Java began to get popular due to its ability of working in dynamic contents. Also, Java is a first and foremost programming language which has linked with the online environment. Java basically inherited from two languages, the syntax derived from C language and object-oriented paradigm by C++. History of JavaScript. JavaScript was created in May 1995 in 10 days by Brendan I. While he worked at Netscape and implemented JavaScript for their web browser. Initially, JavaScript's name changed several times. Its code name was Mocha, and in September 1995, it was called LiveScript, and finally in December 1995 named as JavaScript. There are two standards for JavaScript. ECMA 262 is hosted by ECMA International. This is the primary standard. Other one is ISO IEC 16262, which is secondary standard. In principle, JavaScript and ECMA script means the same thing. The first version of the standard ECMA script 1 introduced in June 1997. In present, we have ES9 or ECMA script 2018. This language also has the C-like syntax and object-oriented concepts. In OOP concepts, mainly we have object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. Object is anything in real world that contains some unique characteristics. It has state and behavior. It may be physical and logical. The class is collection of objects. It is a logical entity which has some specific attributes and methods. Inheritance can be defined as a group of statements enclosed together with different properties and behavior. This means the properties and the behavior of the parent class can be shared to the child class. Polymorphism refers to the ability of variable, object, or function to take multiple forms. Encapsulation is wrapping the data and code. In this OOP concept, the variables of the class are always hidden from the other classes. It can only be accessed using the methods of their current class. It is used to restrict access to method and variables. Abstraction is hiding the implementation details. It is almost similar concepts to encapsulation. Also, data abstraction can achieve through only encapsulation. When we consider overall Java, that is a OOP programming language, runs in a browser or virtual machine, require a compiler to convert the code into machine code. And also the JavaScript generally a OOP scripting language which running along in the browser and mostly forms with HTML and does not require to compile. When considering the object defining in Java and JavaScript, Java is class-based object-oriented language and JavaScript is prototype-based language, which use concepts of prototypical objects. In Java, there are two steps to define an object. First, need to create a class which define all the characteristics of certain set of objects considering methods and fields. Then have to create new instance by using new keyword as shown in the below example. In JavaScript, object does not need to be instantiated from a class and instead can define a constructor function to create objects. The constructor property in JavaScript refers to the object constructor function and that creates the instant object. Therefore, developer can create objects, add or remove properties from any time when needed. In object referencing, both Java and JavaScript use this keyword for referencing, but they have different context. In Java, this keyword refers to current state of an object defined within the class. As of the below mentioned example 3, this keyword refers to ladder fire truck object which is in that fire truck class. Therefore, 30 speed retrieved from firetruck class increased by another 30, which is total 60 when compile the class entirely. In JavaScript, this keyword refers to calling object for the function. In global scope, this represents the global object and also if a function is called while attached to the object. The value of this will be equal to that object by default. In the below example, this has refers to the global object when the bike function is called. When bike function call as mentioned in object, this keyword refers to the object of the method call. Therefore, object 1 bike refers to Pulsar and object 2 bike refers to Jigsaw. This is the summarized comparison of object defining and referencing. Java objects are class-based and JavaScript objects are prototype-based. To create Java objects, first need to define class and then has to create object using new keyword. JavaScript also can create new objects by using new keyword or using reference literal. But only JavaScript objects have the ability to be stored through key value pair slots as object literals. Java objects are static and JavaScript objects are dynamic, creating a JavaScript object simple compared to Java. Java does have classes, but JavaScript does not have classes but have types. Java refers this keyword as the current state of an object defined within a class, while JavaScript refers this keyword how to call a function. Now I am going to talk about use of inheritance in Java and JavaScript. Java uses the class-based inheritance, which subclasses inherit properties from superclasses, and also that is a top-down and hierarchical as of below example 5. MyCalculation class has inherited the addition and subtraction methods by using extends keyword. The copy of a superclass has created when creating an object to MyCalculation class. Moreover, Java is not supported for multiple inheritance with classes, but able to create multiple inheritance by using interfaces. When considering the JavaScript inheritance, it used the prototypical inheritance. In prototype inheritance, the hierarchy has modified by assigning an object as a prototype with a constructor function. As of the below mentioned example 6, the both object C1 and C2 get access to run and start methods due to prototype chain. There are some advantages in prototype inheritance over class inheritance, and this table has summarized the comparison of them. Since Java uses class-based inheritance, it is immutable, but JavaScript prototype inheritance are flexible, can mutable or immutable. Java does not support multiple inheritance with classes, but JavaScript support for multiple inheritance and object can inherit from multiple prototypes. Moreover, inheritance become complicated in larger programs in Java, and JavaScript inheritance is simple since it is only have objects. In Java encapsulation, first need to declare the variable in the class as private and then provide the public getter and setter methods to modify and view the variable values. In below example 7, SSN employee name and employee age data fields are defined in private. Therefore, it cannot be accessed directly. Hence, these fields able to access through public methods only. In JavaScript, encapsulation means process of binding data with the function. In a function, any variable written inside that is not visible to outside. Hence, in JavaScript, it has closures. This is give access to the local variables of functions to use by another function. In summary, comparison of the encapsulation, the Java is easy and fast to create encapsulate class and also easy to test. Even though JavaScript encapsulation easy to create, but also it is easy to fall into error code or breakable code. And also that is hard to maintain due to types and structure are not actively enforced by the compiler. In Java polymorphism, in same entity act in different way. There are two types in Java polymorphism. The first type is runtime or dynamic polymorphism, which can achieve through method overriding. And second type is compile time or static polymorphism, which can be achieved through method overloading. In below runtime polymorphism example 9a, the make sound method has different implementation in two different classes. When running the program, d1.makeSound calls to the dog class because of d1 object, and c1.makeSound calls to the cat class due to the c1 object. Therefore, the calling method is determined while execution of the program. In the compile time example, display pattern method has overloaded. When called that method without argument, it will create a star mark pattern. And when called the same method with an argument, it will create hash pattern. JavaScript polymorphism simply makes different constructor for different child objects inherited from same parent. It can add and override members even after the object has been created. JavaScript only support overriding and not overloading. Meanwhile, JavaScript user does not need to know the exact type of object in advance because of the exact behavior is determined in runtime of the program. In below example 10, there are three subclasses, circle, rectangle and triangle, which extend from parent class named shape. The parent class provides different implementation for area method. In the code, there are another method named cumulative shapes, which provides cumulative value for shapes. The shape class has no influence on cumulative shapes because each of class support the common interface provided by parent class. In summary, Java polymorphism is same entity act in different ways, and JavaScript polymorphism simply makes different constructor for different child objects inherited from same parent. Meanwhile, Java polymorphism support both overloading and overriding, and JavaScript polymorphism does not support overloading but support overriding. In conclusion, there are huge differences in Java and JavaScript languages' use of developing concepts, even though both languages from object-oriented paradigm. The main reason for that is their object creation methods. Java use class-based object creation and JavaScript use prototype-based object creation. And the other reason is the Java objects are static and JavaScript objects are dynamic. When considering the inheritance, Java use class-based inheritance, not support for the multiple inheritance and immutable. But the JavaScript inheritance support multiple inheritance and flexible because of its prototype inheritance. In JavaScript, encapsulation is used to make the complex operation easy and manageable with making the overall application secure. Therefore, Java encapsulation and polymorphism is more complicated compared to JavaScript. In comparatively, we can say Java is more complex and less flexible than JavaScript. However, those two languages have their own features and those are created for different purposes. Hence, developers have to decide which language is more suitable for their development based on their requirements. These are my references I have used, and thank you.